The number of cases only tell part of the story. We know by now many people infected with the virus probably never had any symptoms, such as the coughing and the respiratory situation, and probably as a result never got tested. Tonight, I-Team reporter Brian New looks at why scientists now believe that hyperlocal antibody testing is crucial to returning our lives back to normal.
Early results of research here at UT Southwestern show about 5% of those here in Dallas-Fort Worth have been infected with the virus. But researchers say a lot more data is needed, the type of data that a small Texas town is leading the way in collecting. About an hour east of Dallas off Interstate 20 is a small town with a fitting name.
We call it the best kept secret in Texas.
Hideaway, Texas has a population of a little more than 3,000. The mayor says people live here because of the golf and because it can feel like a getaway, which is why when the pandemic hit,
I mean, we had heard about it on TV.
Mayor Roy Hutchison says many in Hideaway viewed it as a big city problem. That is until one of their own residents, 91-year-old Elwood McElvin, tested positive for COVID and passed away.
We had one of the first cases and the first fatality in Smith County, and which really put the community on its toes about COVID.
Nearly half of those who live in Hideaway are older than 65, so it became crucial to many to know just how rampant the virus was in their town. But no one knew the answer.
And then that leads to speculation. So you'll have one group of people saying, well, we have nothing, so we can just continue life as usual. And then the other group that is terrified, right? Because they don't know if every person that they run into is a potential asymptomatic spreader, right?
Now, Hideaway could have used studies out of New York or China and then projected the spread of the virus in their town. But Dr. Sue Royapa warned city leaders that doing so could lead to an underestimation or an overestimation. She told them what was needed was local testing.
So it's not somebody talking about New York City, 1,000 miles away or whatever. They're talking about right here in your backyard.
Using federal COVID relief money, Hideaway became one of the first cities in the country to launch a community-wide antibody testing program, randomly sampling hundreds of its residents. Hideaway discovered roughly 3% of those in their city at some point had COVID.
The more you find out about the virus, the more clearly you can think, and the better decisions you're going to make.
And this is why UT Southwestern is hoping to do this type of widespread testing in Dallas and Tarrant County. Researchers are seeking 44,000 volunteers to take part in their antibody survey.
So for us to truly get a sense of how this is impacting our local community, we really need these prevalence studies that go out and test larger swaths of the community.
Dr. Admit Singal says along with learning just how many people locally have been exposed to the virus, these tests will also help answer another question.
I think Tim was affected by it first.
Back in July, Tim and Whitney Schlesner tested positive for COVID, so their results in Hideaway's antibody testing program were not much of a surprise. But researchers hope by testing people like Tim and Whitney again and again, they will learn how long the antibodies last and thus how long people stay protected from getting the virus again.
That's a great question. I hope forever, but again, we're going to go back for testing again in December to see if we still retain the antibodies.
Next month, this East Texas town will do another round of local antibody testing, leading the way yet again from a small Texas Hideaway. Brian New, CBS 11 News.
Researchers at UT Southwestern are also looking for volunteers for its antibody testing. If you live in Dallas or Tarrant County, you can sign up for this free testing. We do have information about how to go about that and what you can expect as well. That's on our website. And look for the I-Team page specifically at cbsdfw.com.